What's up, everybody? Coming at you guys with another video. So in this video, I just wanted to go over kind of my trades for the day today. You can see I'm up $1,000 on this account. It wasn't a bad morning. We had a lot of chop. So typically right now, I like to try to hold my trades a lot longer than this, but because we were chopping so odd this morning, I just was killing a lot of the trades early. So I have my profit target set to 1,000 on this account, and I have my stop loss set to 500. And so you can see I'm exiting these trades at $100, $40, $225. You know, a lot of them are above that 150 mark though. So, but yeah, so I'm cutting my trades early, and I'm also cutting the stop losses early. My biggest loss was only 315, so I wasn't, and my next loss was 270. So I took two losses for a total of about $500 loss. $585 loss. But this is kind of me adapting to the market, right? Like I would love to just trade one big move and be done for the day, right? And get $1,000. But you know, when we open up very sideways and we're chopping like this, right? I'm very quick to take my profit. And like, you know, looking at the chart here, right? If we go out to, let's go out to the 2-minute first. This is my Smart Money Concepts by QuantVue. You can see that we have right here this change of character right here that goes all the way out to the 930, but it's not really a change of character. It is technically because we broke that low just by a little bit, but what I'm looking for is this range level of maybe holding as a support here. The other thing is that this was VWAP as well. So if we go out to the 1 minute here, right, you can see how we're holding VWAP early morning right here. The second line up here is VWAP deviation, right? And so you can see we're just kind of chopping in between both the VWAP and this deviation. And it was just very, very choppy. Now, overall on the market, like if I look on the 15 minutes, we look so bullish, right? Going into today, right? You can kind of see this upwards trajectory going into this morning, right? But at the same time, you know, if we kind of draw out like a line from here to here, we can kind of get this idea of like, this was a zone, and potentially we could come down somewhere in this area. If we were to pull back, I didn't think that we would pull back that far. I thought that if we do pull back, we'll probably pull back to maybe this pivot level, right? And this is exactly what we did. And so you can see even once I won all these trades in the chop, right? And I'll kind of go over how I won a lot of these trades this morning in the chop, right? I didn't take a losing trade till here, till the right, somewhere in this level. I think that one. This was my first losing trade of the day. But so we can see right here, right? I didn't lose any of these trades in the chop. And once we tanked, right, I did hop in for about a $250 win. I could have held that for a lot more, right? But again, we were chopping sideways and I didn't trust it. We don't have news this morning. So I didn't trust it enough to hold it as long as I probably should have held it. And then you can see once we got down to that pivot point, you can see I take a long here. I win that one. Then I got out so early that I kind of foamed back into the trade and then pulled back on me. And I shouldn't have foamed into it. I should just let it pull back and then try to take another long. So you can see all these are pretty much longs. That was a long for 45. Here's another long for 250. Here's another long for like 135. Here's another long for 150. And then this is a long that I went and got out of early, which was a loss of like $270. But right under that, you can see where I entered back into a long. So, I mean, that was kind of the whole setup of the day, was me trying to basically trade, knowing that we'll probably come down to this pivot point, and then literally trying to play the long side on this pivot. Now I didn't play the whole long side because I was already up $1,000, and sure enough, we kind of had this move where we you know, came down, right? I caught this move here and I caught this move here, and I thought we were going to push higher, and then we just end up flushing. making like a little liquidity sweep, making a new low. But what's actually interesting is that last little push down. So these are all the stacked imbalances. So I'll zoom out so you can see all the stacked imbalances kind of in this zone of this pivot level, right? That last little push down literally took out the last stacked imbalance that we had. You can see it barely wick it, which is insane. So if I was continuing to trade, maybe I would have tried to trade this. If you would have caught this last pivot or this last stacked imbalance here, that entry would have been fantastic. I would have probably taken this trade, put my stop very close to under it, maybe by $100 or so. You have a nice little W pattern forming, and that rip would have been just beautiful all the way up. That would have been over 100-point rip. But I didn't catch it. I was already done. I have this rule where it's like, I have certain amounts of money that I'm trying to make on my accounts, right? So on my 50Ks, I'm trying to make $1,000 a day. And if I hit that, I'm done trading. I typically just stop. And this helps me with consistency rules. It helps me not to have like crazy big days, and it helps me get my payouts quicker. I could have caught that 100-point move and had another $2,000 in this account today? Probably. Could have caught it with probably even 2 contracts and had like a $4,000 day. Yes, but that would totally screw up my consistency rules. And I probably would be putting myself out of getting a payout this week, next week, maybe even the third week, So that's kind of something that I have to keep in mind with a lot of my funded accounts. Now, my personal accounts, I don't have this problem, right? I do trade my personal accounts also in the morning as well. And I don't have this issue. So, a lot of these trades though was taken with the stacked imbalances, smart money concepts, and then we have the Q grid. Also, you can kind of see the Q grid I've been using as kind of giving me a direction to potentially trade. So all shorts all throughout here. If I would have paid attention to this and only took shorts all through this section here as well, right? Honestly, this just played out so beautifully today, where I probably would have made even more money if I would have just traded these setups. Now, when we're in chop on the Q grid, I wouldn't be taking every single signal, but I'd be looking for, okay, hey, this is telling me to get short. Where's a good entry? Second band deviation, I think, is a good entry, right? And so if I can, get short up here near second band deviation, right? That's going to be a good short potentially, and hold it, right? When you can have a pretty tight stop, because now if we go through that, if we go through this level right here, right, this whole Q grid could flip on you, right, and become bullish, and so you don't want to be in it. So I'm using the Q grid. I'm not taking the Q grid signals, but I'm using the Q grid kind of to tell me, hey, where should I potentially be looking at trading? And I basically turn off and on between Q grid and the Q Pro. I still really like the Q Pro. I'm taking scalps off the midline still, especially once we start to pull down. Idea of still having like a pullback and adding to a position, but it's like kind of, I kind of feel like, Q grid also does a really good job at doing that. And you can see even here, once we come back up and we start forming support right here, that's a potential good trade to the top band. Same thing here. Once we kind of find support, potential good trade almost to the top band. So I still really love trading with Q Pro. I still just switch kind of back and forth between them. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think both are incredibly powerful tools for scalping. But my go-tos are my 2 minutes and my 5 minute, really, and my 15 minutes. The 5 minute also this morning, I just want to show, we came into the stacked imbalance. You can see right here, or not stacked imbalance, this order block right here. And it worked out, played out so perfectly. This order block formed here. We got this pushed into it last night on Sunday. We got another push into it today. This order block worked out so well twice already. and just was a beautiful setup. So QuantVue, Smart Money Concepts, and then also there's a free script with the QuantVue in their Discord channel that is called TI order blocks as well. Here, I'll show it really quick. If you go into the QuantVue Discord channel and you scroll down to, let's see, scroll down to Pro freebies. So I'll share my main screen here. So if you go down to Pro freebies right here, you can see there is extra TI Trading Wiz extra order blocks. And so all this is it's a way for basically a way to get these extra order blocks that I have set up. So if you again look at the 5-minute chart, this order block here, if I turn off Smart Money Concepts or turn off mine, you can see that order block is not there. So that order block is kind of my special order block script that's inside of the Discord channel for free. And it's more neon too, so you can tell the difference kind of. But a lot of those order blocks just play off so well. And so that's it. If you guys haven't already added that to your 5 or 15-minute chart, I don't use it on the 15-minute. I actually only use that on the 5-minute and the 2-minute chart. So feel free to grab that and from the Discord channel. I think it's really, really helpful. So that's it for this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Peace.